All right, hello, hello. We are at Barber Motorsports Park in an IndyCar. Let's get to it.
One lap to green. Line up on the left side. Pit road is closed right now.
I want to put that back on fuel map 6 when we get to the start here. I also think just from some testing I did that on a long run, we're going to get, assuming we don't, slide off the track or anything crazy, the tire life is going to be a thing. So on the reds anyway, we switch over to the blacks, which this is a tire compound thing. I'm not being racist here, but see how my tire, the side of it is a red, and then you see the guy over there, he's a black. That's just the sides of the tires, and what that means is the reds are a softer compound, they steer heavier, and the black sidewalls, or the blacks, they are a harder compound, so they last longer. So it kind of depends what you want. Do you want to do a long stint, or do you want to do a fast stint? Is kind of your choice. Fast would be the reds, long would be the blacks. So I'm going to give the last minute text message here before we get going green.
Jetstar 67 sharp.
Why are you hassling me, man? Scrub the tires, get some heat in them. We're going to be taking it super easy on the start. I mean, we're back in 29th. There is no reason to try to win the race in the first lap right now. This is going to be a long burn. All right, set it back up to fuel map 6. Again, you can't see that, it's on the steering wheel, but basically it kind of talks. It matters how much fuel is getting dumped into the engine, and they use it to extend gas mileage on yellow flag situations. Okay, here we go. Around the last corner. Green flag, let's go. Again, we're just being cautious. We're going to be a super polite Nifty right now. Take positions if they kind of come to us unavoidably almost, because we're trying to force issues, we're going to get into trouble right now. And trouble can also just mean locking the tires and just hurting the tire life, you know? Like, a little bit of a swoop there. Yeah, like that. That we want to avoid that. Oh, we got a car around. That's Bourdais? Was it Pelot? Could have also been Jimmy Johnson. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think Jimmy Johnson would have been ahead of me though, but we got two cars, potentially championship contenders around there. Oh shoot, oh well. I have a little mini map app that I meant to run, but it's not showing up in the top right corner, so sorry about that, everybody. So we went from 29th to 23rd. That's progress. And again, we can see that his skew is on the black sidewall tires, so We should be faster than him right now, at least. Towards the end of the stint, we'll be backing up to him. But right now, I would say it's pretty key to try to get around him. Shout out, as always, to the iRacing AI. It's just phenomenal how solid it is. Like, there's a little bit of fine-tuning involved in, like, setting the range of how difficult you want it to be and all, but it acts very consistent, typically. I would not have iRacing if it did not have AI. Particularly AI that's good. Alright, we're going to have to... Oh, kind of swung wide, but then he came back. I thought I could poke it on the inside there, but I got enough down before I could get the nose in. Keep. Alright, there we go. That'll stick. As soon as we got a nose on him, I knew he'd have to back out. Because again, we have the tire grip that he doesn't. Now, VK up here, that'll be a different story. Side note though, we are getting into being in 22nd now. We're getting into good drivers having a bad day rather than just middling drivers in the standings. So Ericsson, Newgarden, Rossi, VK, these are all people who are towards the pointy end of the field usually. So we are kind of among some peers, at least, again, fictionally speaking. I'm not saying I'm better than anyone in real life in this field. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'm worse, but another thing to consider is that if I was trying to extend the longevity of a stint here between pit stops, I would turn down the fuel map. But since the tires are going to wear out before the fuel does, it doesn't matter. I might as well run full, or not even running full. It's fuel map 6, which is like an alternate level of full. I don't quite understand how that works, but it's basically full. DK gonna clog up the inside on me. No, he's gonna hang out there. That's okay, I'm too far back to make a legitimate challenge there. Kind of feels like we're all stacked up behind whoever's in front of Ericsson there. Harvey. Harvey might be on the harder compound. Black tires, and just everybody's kind of queued up behind him here. Well, Newgarden's on blacks too, so. So I'm going to dump the full replay of this race onto Getting Sleepy TV, as I have been. So, hello, Getting Sleepy TV audience. Shout out, though, to my current Twitch home for live streaming, which is EtherX Social. If you want to watch this live, you want to come in, say hi in the chat. EtherX Social on Twitch. Oh, we got him. Oh, shit. Okay, well. Did a good job not completely wrecking there. I kind of expected him to let the wheel out a bit more and give me more space. I mean, it makes sense that he was being competitive and kind of keeping me, honest, extremely honest. but that was just scarier for both of us, I think. Funny enough, we didn't really lose any time, though, since we're all stacked up behind Harvey. It's the kind of moment where I really wish I did have that track map for myself, because I can kind of judge how bad we're getting stacked up here. And I can see cars in the distance, but I just don't know. You know, is the leader pulling away like to a dramatic effect? Do we really need to be pushing hard, or should I be laying back? Ericsson's thinking about setting up a move up there. See him poke the nose to the left of Harvey. All right, VK's just going to take the defensive line. Try to... Nope, he's going to keep it tight. I was going to try to over-under him, but... was not meant to be. Again, a defensive line. He is really aware of me. I guess after I run into you, just kind of know avoiding me in the mirror, huh? Oh, we got a good exit. That's it. This is going to be hairy, though. Ah. I mean, I could have forced it. I don't know. I'm just nervous right now. No reason to throw it away on lap 7. Got an hour and a half of a race here, but I could have just gone for that. I mean, really. Okay. But keep the car intact to fight another day, kind of a thing. We are making him lock up too. That's good. Let's just try to... There we go. Okay. I pulled that same move where, like, technically there was a car with space there, but I didn't let it out for a call. He had to maintain that line, kind of what he pulled on me a couple laps ago, and it was either run into me again or back out. So 21st, the relative will update in a second. It seems weird to me that iRacing, it doesn't update the position immediately. Like, it just seems odd to me. All right, now we're working on Rossi. Very nihilistically ambivalent customer, I suppose. All right. See, I think if you take this defensive line, it might kind of ruin your exit right here. Oh, he got it down. Okay. Ah, there's nowhere to go with that. Maybe I sneak it in here, though. That'll work. Yeah. Just a real quick sneak there for that last set of turns. It's hard to have a response to it. Okay, up to top 20, top 20. The recovery is coming along from bad qualifying. We are very much getting helped by Jack Harvey stacking up the field here, just because, I mean, iRacing's AI is good, but I kind of think the human element is going to be able to pick and choose its attacks better. No offense to, our robot overlords of the future. starting to feel very procedural as far as how I get them to take the inside line there. But sometimes I say okay just because, I don't know, there'll be like a little tab open, like on a browser, or like in my head, of like, I'm off the line, or, you know, I need to readjust for something. It might not look like anything, but it is something, man. We are all stacked up here. Is he gonna leave me the space here? Yes. Okay. Don't let it out too much. She's right there. All right, 19th. Again, Jack Harvey just clogging up the field here. Look at that defensive move. Oh, don't chop me. That was close. That was a close one. Man, Ericsson is not messing around there. A couple of times there, I could have had my nose that he's just like, I'm gonna... they call it the Pruitt fade, don't you know? I'd like to say hi to Scott Pruitt's wife and kids back at home. Hey, Starhopper, how you doing? Man, he's slow. Let's go. He's going to block me on the inside. You can feel it coming. Nope, he's going to let me have it. Okay. Enjoying the race? Well, that's great. It's me versus the AI right now. Love iRacing's AI. Now, you'll have to forgive me. Are you an Ether regular, or did you just kind of come in because you saw iRacing? Either way, I'm Nifty. I play games, do things. Love IndyCar. Oh man, this whole time I thought Jack Harvey was on the black sidewall tires. Harder compound. But no, he's on reds. He's just slow. This whole time, just slow. Man, I gotta say though, once I got around Ericsson there, they really fell off behind me. Ow. Yeah, jerk. Yeah, this is over. Okay. Yeah, again, that's just the human element. Like, I know iRacing's AI is just fantastic, but at a certain point, humans are just going to be more, no matter how good the AI is, it's just, I'm more aggressive. I'm going to pound him. All right, now we got to get some catching up here. Also, what's my fuel at? Again, I've got telemetry on my steering wheel that you can't see on the stream because I put that standings display. Because I feel like it's more important to a viewer to know the standings so that if I'm passing the guy who's in second place in the standings, you know, it's like, oh, this is a big moment. You know what I mean? But in the middle of the display here, my steering wheel has like a little video board that shows me different telemetry and whatnot. Right now, 8 gallons remaining. Freedom units, that is. And I know that the tires on my practice stints here at about 6 gallons remaining. These tires are pretty well used, so. And I think we're going to switch over to the harder compound black sidewalls on the next pit stop. Just a few months ago, don't really remember. Okay. Well, you might have seen me over on Getting Sleepy TV. That's a possibility. I've kind of moved my operation over here to Ether because Getting Sleepy was a family project we started during the pandemic. And now that, quarantine's over and all that, for the most part, I still very much advocate safe social awareness with the pandemic and whatnot. But anyway, now that the quarantines are all over, I was like the only person who was left streaming on Getting Sleepy TV. And meanwhile, Ether here is an operation I've been working with for a while, and they're like, hey, we could use content. I'm like, okay. Do you play iRacing or any sim, or any racing for that matter? Racing's racing. It's always cool. I'm trying to make up for lost time in this little season I built for myself, because my old steering wheel kind of crapped out and I had to buy a new one. It took about a month for me to settle on one. So this is about, well, this race was supposed to be run on May 1st and it's June 1st. So oh, nice. I'm pretty new too. I've only had it for, well, if it's May, no, it's June now. So that means I am in month 6 of having it. Kind of like a late Christmas present to myself. Well, and I was like, hey, just, you don't know what to get me, just give me some money because I plan on getting this iRacing. So lots of people did that. It's a blast, man. Nothing takes as much, or forgive man if that's not desired, but it takes so much focus to be a sim racer, and it's such an all-encompassing video gaming experience compared to I didn't even know, I wasn't trying to make it a gender studies moment. I just more, I know some people just don't like being called man, so, but yeah, to me, where I'm from, that's just slang for anybody. I call my sister man, you know what I mean? Like, what's up, man? So, it's not even a gendered thing for me anymore. But yeah, it's just, because you're dealing with all of your, it's not like a controller. Another game I play is like Rocket League, and I love Rocket League too. I stream that on here sometimes, and but it's only, your thumbs are lagging the joysticks, and, pushing buttons and your fingers, but the feet don't get involved, and I'm working up a sweat right now. You know what I mean? Just from manhandling a steering wheel with force feedback, and you know what I mean, like all that stuff. Like, sim racing is just such an experience when you just give yourself over to it, even though it costs a ton of money. I do play Rocket League. I think doesn't Twitch archive videos for like 2 weeks? If that's the case, there's a video of me playing Rocket League on here too. I'm more passionate about sim racing, and I feel like I don't know which one I'm better at though. Again, we're stacked up. It's like they just get stuck. They get stuck behind a slow car, and then it's real hard for them to negotiate it. Played since it came out. Yeah, I mean, I think I got it. I think it came out like in the fall of, gosh, I don't know, 2015, 2016, and I had it by like the January of the next year. I got it for Christmas from my brother, and yeah, I've been playing it ever since then. great game. I just, because, okay, so my two favorite sports, my summertime sport is, oh, that's a car in the air. Holy moly. Okay. Well, that happened. Anyway, putting that out of mind for a second, what was I talking about? Yeah, okay, so my two favorite sports, in the summer it's IndyCar racing. As a spectator, I mean, I'm not actually an IndyCar driver. But, you know, in the summer it's IndyCar racing, and in the winter it is hockey, right? Ice hockey. And there is no game out there that is better at kind of replicating the brain you use for hockey than Rocket League. Like, and so whenever I kind of feel like turning on my hockey brain, I go play Rocket League. Because, you know, it's not the EA Sports game. It's kind of, let's charitably say hit or miss, the EA game. And so, yeah, I took to Rocket League just so naturally, because it's just... It came to my city for the first time. Nashville. Oh, okay, so flying race cars. That was Marcus Ericsson at the Nashville race last year. And then ended up winning the race and won the Indy 500 last week, so... IndyCar is this, like, great underrated product, you know? Like, I wish more people knew about it, because the racing is great. It's nuts, right? Like, sometimes the guy who ends up taking flight ends up winning the race. That's... What other racing series in the world has that? I guess maybe the Stadium Super Trucks, those jumpy trucks. Love me some jumpy trucks, but they mean to jump off things. Unlike IndyCars, so yeah, it's just, and like, I've been passionate my whole, pretty much my whole life. My dad was a fan he used to work at Target back in the day, and Target was a big sponsor. And so, you know, we got all this, like, you know, free little merch things or whatever, but like, it was easy for me as a kid to follow along and, you know, fall in love with it. So, grandstand at the braking zone after the bridge. Oh, okay. You saw Colton Herta eat it then, didn't you? Or were you too far? Were you closer to the start finish? I've never been to that. Obviously, the track only had one here, and it's a temporary track, so I don't know exactly where the stands are. But yeah, that was nuts. Herta just pushing so hard, and then he instant replay of that at Long Beach this year too. Just got behind and pushed too hard. You know, like, just nuts. Colton Herta doing Colton Herta things. Okay, so I want to put on the blacks on the next stop, which, you know, making me a liar here. I didn't think we would get to the end of the fuel before the tires gave out, but actually. There we go. Oh boy, okay. Everybody choked up there. That was scary. iRacing has this damage mode where it's like temporary damage, and then it morphs back to normal, and I run with that because I don't necessarily trust the AI not to do an AI thing. But I'm in love with you. It's actually about 80, nah, that's too much. About 60% of the time, it's actually just saving my butt. But that's okay. If you've got the IndyCar, the Dallara IR18 here, and you go to tradingpaints.com.net, I don't know. If you see Bo Petrini on there with a collection of IndyCar 2022, that's this car set. Kind of made it for myself because I'm trying to fill out the whole IndyCar season as much as possible. And you can't do that in iRacing. There's tracks that are missing, so I kind of interspersed it with this old sim called Automobilista, which you said you're newer to sim racing. It's based on the R Factor 1 engine, and what that means is that there's a ton of mods for it. Modded tracks and stuff, and so just filling out all of the IndyCar races, plus also just fictional ones from, again, I've been a fan for a long time. There's tracks that come and run. Why not Assetto Corsa? There's kind of two answers to that. One is that I am just most familiar with that, again, because it's based off of rFactor 1's engine. I've been running my own IndyCar seasons for literally like 10 years in that game engine. So I just know how to get in there and get the things that I want, because, and this is kind of leaning into the second answer, is that it's a lot easier to adjust the AI in that game engine than it is Assetto Corsa, from my experience. I'm sure there's people out there who could, do programming circles around me. Boy, I need to come in. This car has had it. His tires are done. Probably that big lockup I had a couple laps ago really cooked them. Yeah. Just rain, right? Oh, that's a flat tire is what that is. Okay, so we're just going to nurse this back because pray for the overcut. Yeah, where were we? Like 18th or 19th or something like that? So we'll see. I kind of think just the clean air is going to be, advantageous. I don't know if it matters saying pitting in. Again, going back to the other game, it does matter in rFactor, Automobilista, and that's Automobilista 1, by the way. Your pit crew, basically it simulates them setting up for a pit stop if you say you're coming in. So I don't know if it matters in this one, but yeah, okay, so yeah, it's partly because I'm just most familiar with the Automobilista / rFactor 1 game engine. I know if the AI is slow, I know how to fix that and the coding and all that. Oh boy, that was off the marks. Hey, Magic Doctor, how you doing? Let's get going here. Oh, don't crash. Okay. Do I watch F1? I don't usually watch it live. I usually watch the 15-minute clips that they come out with or whatever on YouTube. I try to keep up with it, but sometimes it's hard if you don't have ESPN on your cable package, which I don't have a cable package. So how did we do on the cut here? It looks like we came out about 15. So we might have gained a couple of spots, but for the most part, that worked. Skipping a bit. Well, I can't fix that right now. Yeah, 8 a.m. on a Sunday, which actually I did. I got up super early on Sunday to watch Monaco, and it rained. It just completely ruined everything because they delayed. And I was setting up for, I always host, not always, but recently I've been hosting an Indy 500 party at my place. Just come over, watch the race. And I had to start getting ready for that. I had to run to the store, get stuff. So I had to turn it off, and I'm like, well, this is stupid. I was here. Although I think in hindsight, they probably made the right decision by delaying it, because I think they would have started, somebody would have crashed, full course yellow for a long time, and then they would have had to red flag it anyway because it was just too much. So I think race control on the F1 side, despite, ooh, that was a bad turn, despite getting some criticism for it, I think they actually made the right decision. How you doing, Magic Doctor? By the way, I don't, if the bit rate's high, which Starhopper, let me know if you're experiencing problems. If that's the case, I'll have to turn that down next time. I don't have access to it right now. There's no pause button in iRacing. Bit of an oversight. I mean, they didn't build it for AI racing. It's supposed to be live, so. Bored? Well, yeah, come hang out. But we are 14th. Probably about a little over an hour left in this race. I bet. Let me switch that over. Oh, a little under an hour. Okay. This is Magic Doctor. I know you were watching me play Rocket League, and I was still at Starhopper. I like Rocket League a lot, but this is kind of my main video gaming activity is sim racing. Sound is perfect, video is skipping. Okay. I'll keep that in mind for the next stream, because again, there's no pause button. I can't go out and tweak the settings. I know exactly what setting that is, though. That's partly because I've been streaming this, and I was telling Star Hopper, poor guy's going to hear this twice, but I used to stream my sim racing activities here on this like side project that my family started during the pandemic on Getting Sleepy TV, and I tried to set the settings the same, but I probably missed something. But what are the options for games to play? It's good, though, that the sound is perfect, because I don't know how loud my microphone is sometimes, you know, just... You're gonna have to help old Nifty. What is ATS and ETS2? Oh, American Truck Simulator and European Truck Simulator. I got it. I figured it out. Those are fun. I know my brother really likes American Truck Simulator. Oh, you've been in for 2 hours now. Cool. All right, cool. Yeah, American Truck Simulator is fun because you can, I guess you can take it super seriously if you want, but also, like, just don't you ever just feel like you want to go on a road trip sometimes? That's what it feels like to me. Like, especially if you get like a, oh, what do they call it, a convoy or a caravan or I don't know what the game calls it. Can't think of it off the top of my head. But oh, Pato, what are you doing? Okay. You just get some friends, and you all take out a truck and go from one place to another. And you just chat. It's fun. Maybe we should do that. We should do like a ether stream with fans where we all just grab a truck and get in a lobby and have fun. Convoy, yeah. So I think Graham here is holding us up. Even though he's on the reds, like, he's on the softer tire. He should be first away. After this race here, and actually I'm kind of pushing it, the boyfriend's got an overnight guest coming, and I'm in the guest bedroom with my racing setup here, so I gotta skedaddle after I get this race done. But some other time, yes, I will get in touch with you on Discord. We'll try to arrange that. And if I don't get in touch, oh boy, if I don't get in touch with you on Discord, harass me about it. Yeah, man, what wheel? And that about 3 turns ago, Pato really turned in there. I thought I was going to lose my wing. You know what I got to say about... Speaking of... Oh, boy. Where are we going? Doing BL3. BL3. I don't know what BL3 is. I'm trying to think. This one I might need help with. Okay. Star Hopper doesn't know either. It's not just old man sitting up here. It's an indecipherable code. Oh, we are all over the place. I don't know where to put the car right here. Borderlands. Ah, Borderlands. You must have been talking to probably Sovereign or Lone Asian, or I don't know who's playing that one. Definitely harass whoever said they'd play that. Borderlands is cool, though. That's a cool gaming series. Like, I don't play a lot of... I don't know if you'd call it a first-person shooter. I mean, I know there's definitely that element, but it's also like kind of an exploration game or whatever. Open world? Question mark? Okay, hang on. I need to focus on this. We are really stuck here. Talking to me about Borderlands. I don't play Borderlands. I remember you coming in during a Rocket League game, and we were talking about that motorcycle company that you wanted to make. Okay, let's try to stick it in on Pato here. So, okay, no. Well, no. That was stupid. I remember doing this earlier too, because there was some other game you said you remembered playing with me, and it was before I became a streamer on Ether. It definitely wasn't Borderlands. I don't have Borderlands. I remember we were talking about that motorcycle company. Let's. Oh god. Oh god. Okay. I think you're making it up. Borderlands is definitely not my kind of game. I mean, no problem with it. I'm not saying it's a bad game, but just my brain isn't wired for like 3D kind of environments like that. Gosh, there's got to be a way to get around this situation, because every time the blue car up there, Graham Rahal, blocks the orange car here at Pato Award, and we're kind of left with no move available. And then Pato just kind of chops me because he's, I mean, whether he's conveniently chopping me or whether he's just, you know, setting up for Rahal in front of him, but it's getting real hard to kind of, I got to get alongside him so that if he tries that chop, it's like wheel to wheel. Hang on, Magic Doctor. I gotta work my way out of this one. I see the big message there. I'll read it. Artists need to design a motorcycle. Yeah, Ether motorcycle. Okay. All right. See, he's gonna try to get alongside him. And then Rahal is going to go left to block here. Just like clockwork. But we are close this time. We're going to just stick it in here and hope we can get right behind Rahal's gearbox. Yeah. Okay. That'll work. Okay. First ever Ether motorcycle. Yes, okay. I want to make sure I read that right. Lots of E's flying around there in the chat. It wasn't easy. I mean, I do have to say, though, I need to figure out, is it me or is it the AI in this game that I feel like I have a strong race pace, but a slow qualifying pace? Like, I started 29th, and what, I'm up to 14th, 13th? Ooh, let's get out of 13th. That's a bad number. But, am I superstitious? I like to joke that I'm not, I like to joke that I'm superstitious while I'm not superstitious. But at the same time, I'm always aware of it, and it does kind of like, you know, put a little thing in my brain when I'm in 13th or anything relating to 13th. And so I guess in a way I'm superstitious just because it distracts me. I don't know if that makes any sense. Is he going to block me? He's totally going to block me. Okay, we'll go out this way. Oh, Pato's going to pull the same move I pulled on him. All right, we fought him off. Yeah, Graham's a tough customer here. Going through the S here, I wouldn't try a pass actually, but I wanted to just see if I could get him to react to me putting the wing a little bit under him. Plus, actually, that helps aerodynamically a touch, but really I just wanted to see if I could get him to commit to going offline there for a sec. With 13 kills. Maybe, I'm not saying I'll get it, okay? But maybe I should try to pick up the Borderlands series. I would probably start with the first one, though. I need baby steps, right? Like, hey, Profits. I am on a wheel. A new wheel, actually. A, hang on a second. Thrustmaster T300 RSGT. after about 7 years of a Logitech G29, it finally crapped out, and I have no complaints about that one. But I decided to upgrade just a touch. Got myself the Thrustmaster, which just the belt-driven thing just feels so much. Yeah, I know you switched. I know you switched over to Vanguard. I was just still thinking about it. Like, I don't know. It wouldn't hurt me to learn how to play those games, and I know the Borderlands series is good. I remember when the first one came out, I was in college, and my roommate played the crap out of it. And I remember just watching and enjoying it. I was like, oh, this is a fun game to watch. Yeah, and maybe your experience will be different, but I find that the older Logitech wheels are a lot better. Oh, geez. Eat something. Full-handed. I do have a drink here, though. I got myself some iced tea, so I'll... There's a drink. Okay. What was the other one? Posture check? Posture is racing wheel in hand, so... Oh, he's gonna... Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. I am shocked he stuck out there. You just have... Hang on a second, Profits. Wheel, or you have a racing seat? Oh, no, just the wheel and the pedals. And then a good old gamer chair. I'm the super serious simmer on a budget is what I am. Feel comfortable in the hand compared to the G23. I never tried the newer one, the 923. Or the 23? 920? I don't know. Either way, I've only got the older ones. And so the build quality, I think that's where I was going there. The build quality, I ordered a new G29. I was like, I'll just replace it with what I had. It worked fine for me. It's at a cheaper price point. But I feel like in the last, you said 5 years, and I got mine 7 years ago. I feel like in the last 7 to 5 years, at least, the build quality has changed. Because it just felt different. And it was having a hard time syncing the force feedback to any game I played with that G-Hub thing that is not great. And so after kind of like having a bit of a Goldilocks moment of this wheel, you know, this pedal is too squeaky, this wheel doesn't have force feedback, I just returned all, I tried 3, and I returned them one after the other, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to upgrade. Oh gosh, sorry, that was a sneeze. Anyway, do I have... God, it's scary when you're driving and you got a sneeze. Okay. Do I have the VODs of these? Yes. So I used to stream on Getting Sleepy TV on Twitch here. And if you look at that on YouTube, I documented all the old races over on Getting Sleepy TV's YouTube. I'm going to kind of take those old videos from Getting Sleepy TV, which that was a family operation. Just a pandemic project for the family that I'm kind of the only one that was keeping up with it, so I switched over to Ether for my racing. But, so if you look at Getting Sleepy TV, there was a whole crew, we had a whole thing going on, but, you know, pandemic ended and everybody went back to their lives, except for me. I have no life. That's, oh gosh, what is that? From Game of Thrones. You cannot... No, gosh, what's that which is dead may never die, or whatever. That has no life may never die, or whatever. I don't know. No life here. But yeah, so I kept doing my sim racing thing, and Ether was looking for content, and I'm like, well, I do this content though. So here I am. But yeah, no, Getting Sleepy TV, there's a little sheepy. The majority of it was just my racing, so... Alright, let's try to squeeze him here a bit. Just don't let him come out here. Yeah, okay, that's it. Now let's run away, because I don't want to have to fight him again. Yeah, we lost 6 seconds to the next car in front there with that battle. Anyway, so I'm going to take those old videos and I'm going to chop them up into like probably 10 to 20 minute clips and upload those to Ether's YouTube page, which, by the way, we have a YouTube, Ether X Social, over there on YouTube as well. And so there'll be like 10, 15-minute clips, but I have to kind of figure out how to do that. Because Lone Asian over here is the video editor guy, usually. Certainly not me. But no, yeah, all the season, this is Barber Motorsports Park, a.k.a. Alabama, on the IndyCar schedule, and so this would have been the 11th race, so there were 10 races, IndyCar races prior, and then I also have a Formula One season that I'm doing as well, so all of that content right now, you can go watch it in its unedited garbage glory over on Getting Sleepy TV. With clips coming out, highlighted clips, 10-minute things in the future on Ether's YouTube. So, by the way, highly recommend Ether's YouTube. Sovereign has been putting up a lot of content over there. And just working real hard with all the content he's been putting up on the YouTube. Highly recommend. And I think he's very, oh gosh, is the word affable? Like, pleasant to, happy to listen to? Okay, hang on, I gotta check the chat again. Ether was Revolve, swap out streamers midstream. Yeah, Revolve used to have so much, that's why I hopped on, because it used to be, Revolver had I originally came onto Revolver as the graphics guy, and that was pretty much just all I did. And they had a full lineup of streamers. I wasn't going to insert my sim racing nerdiness into that, so I didn't. But since switching over from Revolve to Ether, a lot of people moved on. A lot of people didn't want to, re-up contracts and stuff for the new era, because Ether's kind of turning into a social network platform, which I don't know how much of that I can talk about, but we've got more than just streams and video games in the pipe works there. And so, a lot of people just weren't, they're not their wheelhouse, wanted to move on, different phases of life. I think the streamer thing is a good gig for the young, of which I'm not. I'm just mentally young, I suppose. Watching Grosjean in second. Yeah. You're talking about the standings, right? Look, I'm telling you, I'm not a huge Grosjean fanboy. I like him. I like that he's here. And I think he's fun. He's like an element of chaos every race. But since I program all the talent files, I say who's supposed to be better than who. He shouldn't be leading the championship like he is, or amongst the computers. It's just worked out that way. So, Forza Horizon 3, 7 streamers one day. Yeah. I mean, it was prolific, the amount of streamers Revolver had. Haas fan. Yes. And it's oh gosh, I can't think of his name. He replaced Mazepin. Magnussen. That's it. Magnussen nowadays. It's fun watching him actually take the fight with that Haas up the field a little bit. Yeah. We're catching Castroneves up there. It was a 6-second gap. Now it's a 3. So over the course of what, probably 4 laps, taking about a little less than a second a lap. Yeah. Did you might? I don't know if you caught this or not, because I think it was before the Nashville race last year. But Magnussen actually ran an IndyCar race. Was it last year, 2 years ago? The car died, like the engine died, but it was fun watching him there. He, on pit strategy, led a couple laps, which was fun. It's at Road America. I can't remember what year, though. Yeah, I have a lot of IndyCar knowledge. I'm doing my best to get more into Formula One and follow that. But like I said earlier, it's kind of hard because I don't have, anything that I can watch it on cable-wise or anything. So I got to really go out of my way to find it. Yeah, I mean, he did fine. Well, an IndyCar has a point system where if you start the race, you're guaranteed a certain amount of points. Yeah, I don't have the ESPN. But IndyCar's point system, if you start the race, you're guaranteed, I don't know, 6 points, I think. Whereas I know Formula One, you have to finish in the upper half of the field, basically. All right, Karam's coming in. See, now that we're at the end of this fuel window, we've got 4 gallons left. These hard compounds, they're actually coming in. They feel pretty racy right now. How much time we got left? 35. Okay, so should I switch to another set of blacks or should I go back to the reds? I think I'll do another stint with the blacks because I don't think I lost pace really. I was still able to make moves and all. And the reds, I know there's a fall off. We saw that. I literally kind of lost a tire. So I think we'll just re-up on the hard compound. Okay. What the? My robot lady here is talking in the background. Why are you talking? Echo, be quiet. I don't know what set her off. I don't know if that came through the stream, sorry. Newfangled technology. We're in the top 10, but it's absolutely on strategy here. I think Barber be 12th, 13th? I don't remember. Elio's taking the defensive line. I don't know the drivers or the teams that well. Yeah, I can. Well, ask me anything you want. I am here to be an ambassador for the wonderfulness that is IndyCar. But I get that totally. It's just a new world. It's kind of the same with me in Formula One. I mean, I know some of the basics. I know Mercedes dominated during the last era of Formula One. I know Red Bull before that with metal. But just in general, I don't have the same, in a fan way, I don't mean this in a weird way, but, in a fan way, I don't have that intimacy with the names and the drivers and the teams. Watching Drive to Survive. See, I've heard it's highly fictionalized. Like, I don't know, oh boy. Otto almost ran over me. That was not cool. Okay, now, and the hard compound, it's loosening up on me, or oversteering, I guess, to the European jargon. Good way to learn drivers and teams. Yeah, that's true. And I wish there was an equivalent to Drive to Survive for IndyCar. But there's not, so I'm trying to think what. I know Joseph Newgarden has a video page that he does. I think Jack Harvey has one, or at least he did have one. And then Scott McLaughlin and Newgarden started one. Hey, the man from PR. How you doing? Give it a watch? Okay, all right. That's 2 recommendations there. Sorry, Mr. PR. I just had Had to kind of not run into the back of Willpower. Now, is Power... He's got to be, like, first place. He's come in and left in front of me, so I don't think we're really competing with him. High-quality racing videos. That's true. Just race cars are fun to watch no matter what. Oh, boy. Connor's going to insert himself here. Yeah, another way you can do it is I know a lot of IndyCar drivers have Twitch. Like Connor Daly plays all sorts of shooter games on Twitch sometimes, especially in the off-season. Reality series for IndyCar. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. That's another thing about IndyCar is that, and I mean, you know, your mileage may vary. You might just think that it's a little bit of an act on the camera, but in general, the drivers are very friendly with each other, and so there's not a lot of animosity. There are some exceptions. Another outlet is there's a podcast with Alex Rossi and James Hinchcliffe, who was a driver up until last year. It's a fun listen. They're very laid back, and so just there's all these like little breadcrumbs of things you can get if you want to really dive into IndyCar. But no, the series itself would do itself a lot of favors by setting something up. Okay, I'm gonna come in now because we're gonna that's why we're gonna go. At this point, we're fighting with lapped traffic in a way that I just don't care to. Primarily. So hard. I would use the terms hard and soft, or IndyCar specifically, I would use the term black and red to describe which tire I want. But they just call it primary and alternate, and that's unfamiliar wording to me. It chokes me up for a second. I know, Mr. Australian. Now the pit lane line actually is right there, so you can kind of hustle it a little bit through that section, although it's very narrow, so the diminishing returns kind of effect to it. How did I do this time? Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, seriously. Both series are amazing. That's why I've got a fictional IndyCar series I'm running and a fictional Formula 1. And I also like a lot of the old tracks that both series used to run to. Like in my Formula 1 season, which I'm running in Automobilista, I started the season in Sepang in Malaysia. It's just a cool track. I miss some of these cool tracks. My next race in IndyCar is going to be at Cleveland. Again, just a cool track that they don't run at anymore. Now we got cold tires, so that's the difference between F1 and IndyCar. Is IndyCar doesn't allow tire warmers, so you have to kind of let your tires warm up before you start running hard. They used to. The U.S. Grand Prix used to be run at Indianapolis. Dude, I highly recommend the iRacing. It's like the perfect little car. You want to do ovals? Go real fast on ovals. You want to do road courses? Lots of fun. You want to do street circuits? It's going to be quite the physical workout. Oh boy, too fast. Okay. And it's got like enough like adjustable things in the cockpit. Like, I mean, it is such a fun car. Now that said, I don't have a lot of iRacing experience with other things. I specifically bought, I'm weird. I'm very weird because I specifically bought iRacing to run AI IndyCar. And I know I'm like the only person in the world that's ever done that, but because I wanted an IndyCar game. I'm a huge IndyCar fan. There's no game for it. Kind of in the same way like there's no Drive to Survive for it. They're just real bad at marketing themselves. So that's how that's how I got into sim racing in general, was I was a huge IndyCar fan. There was no way to do it. And R Factor 1 back in the day was kind of the only way to build a season. Yes. And you know, people say they don't like the Halo. people also say they don't like the aero screen, but you know, I have grown to really like the aero screens look. Makes them look like fighter jets, you know. Did anyone see or see Colton Herta's crash in Indy 500 practice? Car flipped upside down. It was skidding on the, I mean, partly on the roll hoop, of course, but also on the aero screen. It's like, oh, I'm happy we got that aero screen. Although I was a little worried because let's say the car had caught fire, he would have been stuck with that. But I don't know. I'm sure it's been accounted for. They don't normally flip over like that anymore. Like, oh gosh, probably about five years ago, maybe, well, more than that, probably like 7 years ago, Castroneves had a very similar crash where his car flipped, and they punched holes. Don't ask me for the exact aerodynamics here, but they punched holes in the under tray of the car to let air through. To what's the situation here? Oh, hi. Okay. Anyway, they punched holes in the bottom of the under tray to keep them from lifting like that, but it didn't help Colton, I suppose. So make of that what you will. I get that ovals, especially if you're coming from Formula One, it's let me give the pep talk here. It's hard to appreciate, but there is a lot going on with the ovals because you got to think about how, for one thing, you know, the cars are hitting speeds of 240 miles an hour, and don't ask me to convert that to kilometers an hour, but you know, extremely fast. But it's not just the raw speed, it's the fact that in order to achieve that raw speed and to out-engineer each other, they streamline the car as much as possible. And to that end, they take away as much downforce as possible. So they're on as much of a knife's edge as the driver can handle in every corner. And, you know, if you watch the Indy 500, Grosjean crashed, and, I mean, spoiler alert, I guess, Grosjean crashed, Ilott crashed, rather. And, you know, and they're all these single car crashes where they just go through the turn and the back end just comes around on them. And it's absolutely just because the downforce isn't there, and you just have to keep up with it with your hands and your reaction time. It's yeah, and so that's where I understand it's boring because it's just going around in a circle, but there is a lot going on there, and the in-car adjustments. Pull up that page, and this is, you know, true to real life too. They have these in-car adjustments where they can, you know, particularly the roll bars and the weight jacker, and that'll completely change the handling of the car. And if you watch them on a qualifying run at Indianapolis, they are changing the roll bars and the weight jacker on each turn based on, you know, temperature, wind conditions, things like that, to make sure that, you know, they can get to the other side. And there's all this stuff that is kind of hard to translate to the TV product going on with oval racing and IndyCar. Because, I mean, you know, it's all adjustments in the cockpit, and it's all, you know, very microscopic. The only time you notice that they're working real hard and that they're on that knife's edge is when they lose it, because then all of a sudden it's like, oh, he crashed. Why did he crash? He was doing fine, and then he was spinning around. Why did that happen? And so, you know, that's just part of it with the oval racing. It's hard to see that. If you do, I think somebody in there, I'm kind of falling behind on the chat, sorry guys, but if you do get it in iRacing, just take it out to Indy, and the first setup you're going to run, you know, make it so that you can drive it, but then try to cut time out of it, you know, just because you can. That was something Dario Franchitti, who's a retired IndyCar driver, won the Indy 500 3 times, I think he was a 4-time series champion. One of the things he said was that he would have rookie drivers come to him and say, who were at the back of the pack, and they would say, this is pretty easy, I don't understand, you know, what all the hubbub is about with the Indy 500. What he said was, because, you know, he did it wrong a lot before he got it right, and it's the way to win is to put the car in such a sketchy position with the setup that that's how you win, is you just have to be able to handle the sketchiness aerodynamically better than everyone else. So anyway, that's my little pep talk on ovals. Like, there's a lot going on there. And then it also, there's all that out, like the slipstreaming is like to an extreme on passing. Don't go off the track, thank you. The slipstreaming is to an extreme. It's easier to get side by side, and there's a lot going on there that it just doesn't. I think by playing racing sims, iRacing, or if you don't have the money for iRacing, go get yourself. I'm always going to advocate for rFactor 1. It's just such a fantastic game. I know it's like, gosh, 15 years old now at least, but just such a great game. Anyway, and there's still like a thriving modding community for rFactor 1. It's crazy. But yeah, just get yourself an IndyCar mod in rFactor, or get yourself the iRacing here, get yourself an Indianapolis mod, and try to just set the car to go faster every time. Like, okay, so you find the stability with at Indianapolis. Let's say you find it with a lap time of like, gosh, I can't think what the lap times would be, but like, let's say you find a 40-second lap. Okay, try to get a 39-second lap. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, these little things are just so sketchy. I mean, honestly, gaining a whole second. I remember they did. Qualifying at Indianapolis is 10 miles. It's 4 laps. And they take the average of all 4 laps. And I remember the interval in time, because they always display it in miles per hour. Like, the pole was 234 miles an hour as an average. And, the back end of the field was like 228 or something. But the actual time difference is like 0.2 of a second over 10 miles between first and last. And it's just like, that's nuts. NASCAR is a thing. How would I talk about it with NASCAR? Let's see here. I used to be, when I was a kid, big NASCAR fan in the 90s. And early 2000s. Rusty Wallace was my guy. And, it had its charm back then. And it was a fun racing product, same as anything else. And then a couple of things happened with NASCAR, in my opinion, and this is all just my opinion. One thing was that, switch this over here. With the rule changes, everybody knows they added a playoff system. Why does racing need a playoff system for a season? I don't know. But they thought that. They didn't. Okay, Scott, what are you doing? Jeez. They added the lucky dog was kind of like the first thing. But, gosh, what else did they add? They added the green-white checker. And then they made the cars, and this is going to sound kind of reverse of logic here, but they made the cars super safe. And I am all about driver safety. Like I was saying, I love the aero screen, I love the halo. Even if they aesthetically were the ugliest thing I've ever seen, I love them because they're going to save drivers' lives and stuff. And to that extent, I love that they have made the NASCAR so much safer. That's great. But a byproduct of it was that a whole new generation came in my opinion. A whole new generation came in, and they kind of talk about this with like Kyle Busch, being aggressive, and even though he's old now, and all these drivers, but they basically treated this new generation more like bumper cars with very little respect for the other competitors. I was watching, because it's just part of the day, I was watching the Coca-Cola 600, and gosh, was it Austin Dillon who made this move? It was on the back straightaway, and he got a huge run aerodynamically. And he just, going into the next corner, he just threw it in 3 wide. And of course they crashed. And I just remember, it's not often I catch a NASCAR race because it was, the day of motorsport or whatever, with Monaco and Indy. And I just remember thinking to myself while I was watching, I was like, never in my life would that have been how a driver would have done that until, the last 10 years. Because, there was a respect, like the odds of coming out the other side of going 3 wide into a turn in NASCAR like that, the odds were very low. It was clearly going to result in somebody getting hit by somebody. And when the cars were less safe, there was a hesitation. If somebody pulled out that move, they kind of had a trick up their sleeve or an idea of where they were going. And I'm not trying to trash Austin Dillon. If you find yourself as a NASCAR driver, this is how you stay competitive now, because of the point system and the way that the wins ensure your place in the playoff bracket or whatever. And so NASCAR drivers, that's another thing. NASCAR has kind of built a rule system that encourages all this crashing. But, and if you're a NASCAR driver, what else are you going to do? I mean, like, Montoya ran NASCAR. He had to adjust to this, where it's just like, what else are you going to do? You got to try to either do something crazy or crash the car. And more often than not, it crashes the car. And I think NASCAR likes that because they've engineered the cars to be so safe. And it's, great ratings. And it's going to be on TV the next day. Oh, my gosh, look at this, 7-car pileup. One car flips over, gets air, and catches on fire. Like, like it's highlight, it's exactly the kind of stuff Sports Center is going to eat up. And it just takes away an element because, I was watching the race where Dale Earnhardt died, and I'm not necessarily like a big do-it-for-Dale guy or anything like that. I'm really not. NASCAR's not my thing. But, it was so sombering, so, like, everybody knew at the time this was a crash that could happen, especially with the restrictor plate tracks. And, like, nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted that to happen. And it was, if you look at it, I guess I've got a microphone right now. I can go ahead and call it like it is. Dale Earnhardt was blocking to let Junior and Junior's teammate Michael Waltrip win the race. And I'm not saying he, deserved to die. I'm not saying that. But that crash is definitely from him stacking up the field like that. And, because a lot of cars were very much faster, just kind of stacked them up. Yeah, they ran into him. And, again, nobody liked that kind of restrictor plate crash. Although it didn't immediately seem like Earnhardt would have been hurt critically from that, because it looked kind of like a silly, not silly, that's the wrong word, but like a not catastrophic crash. It looked like a normal everyday routine crash. But and there's separate conversations we can have about Dale Earnhardt with loosening seatbelts and not running a Hans device and things like that. But let's not go there. That it's just there was so much more respect back then for each other in NASCAR. And I'm not saying, everybody was always squeaky clean. That's Takuma Sato off the track to the left. I'm not saying everybody was always squeaky clean in NASCAR. Certainly there was bumping, there was, some shoving, some argy-bargy, if you will. And it's just that there was always this, safety threshold that the drivers themselves had to come in with. And they don't now, because if you crash, we saw a horrific crash a couple years ago at the Daytona 500 with Ryan Newman. Flipped over, and basically the front windshield was hit head-on by another NASCAR going 200 miles an hour. And it was scary, and we actually all, I'm saying we, I was in the Reddit live, but everybody was kind of afraid of it. It was like, oh my gosh. And he wasn't released from the hospital until the next day or something, but it wasn't like that before, where drivers knew. And IndyCar is kind of the same way. IndyCar now is the same way NASCAR was, which was on these high-speed ovals. There's a certain, level of respect among the drivers because it is dangerous and it can end in the worst way possible. But NASCAR now, they've basically trained their drivers to not worry about that. And so, yeah, Austin Dillon lunges it 3 wide going into a turn that clearly somebody's going to crash. And it's not as fun because, like you're saying, it's not fun watching it just for the crashes, and you like clean racing. And yeah, I love watching racecraft, setting up a guy, trying to figure out how you're going to overtake him, things like that. But teach their own. Anyway, thanks for coming to my TED Talk on NASCAR. I don't dislike the idea of NASCAR though. You know, trying to wheel a heavy car like that over a long distance race on such a specialized product on an oval, right? Like, because setups on ovals are nuts, and that's kind of what I was saying with IndyCar. Whoops, just kind of cut off Pato there. But same with NASCAR. I mean, to a lesser extent because they're slower. But yes, highlight stickers are dumb. Okay, what are you doing? Are you over there still? No. Okay. I thought he was hanging with me on the left still. Yeah, headlight stickers are silly. Actually, I think they did that as a safety thing because they didn't want glass back in the day in a crash. They didn't want glass flying all over, but now everything's, you know, you just make it, I don't know, plexi or something. Like it wouldn't actually be glass. How long we got here? We got 11 minutes left. We're looking okay on the fuel. I'm going to say this now since everybody's watching. If the AI comes in for another pit stop, I will come in for another pit stop, not even if I don't need it, because I don't like winning against the AI because they can't calculate fuel. You know, that just doesn't feel right. Now, if this was online, if these were actual humans I was racing against, oh yeah, fuel strategy is totally a way to win a race, but not here, not against the computer. That's unfair. I would like to get past Scott McLaughlin, but anytime I make a move, he is by far, maybe it's just the amount of time left in the race, but McLaughlin is by far the toughest customer here to pass. Like, extremely aggressive blocking, which is fair, but so like that, he took the apex, and I was there, and I wasn't going to hold it. Like, you could easily say he knew we could go down there, but let's say for a second I could hold it. He was going for the apex, you know, like. He's going to block me on the left here too. Yeah. And so I'll try on the outside. So I tried a couple laps ago, and then Pato got next to me. Bit of oversteer there. And then he's going to block me here. You know what I mean? Like, just, I wonder if it's just that the AI knows the race is coming in soon. 10 lap, you know, 10 mile. Nope. The other one. 10 minutes. And so, you know, the aggression goes up when the race is about over. I don't know. But, and don't get me wrong, I love this from the AI. I love that it's being competitive. The other game, R Factor, Automobilista, they don't do that. They're pretty oblivious. They'll run you off the road, but only because they're oblivious. This is, as far as I know, the only game that really has AI that will race you hard and fair, but aggressive. Are there F1 cars in iRacing? There is last year's Mercedes. And you can't do, like how I have this as an AI pack you can download off the internet, off Trading Paints. They don't allow that for the Formula One car. So if you want to do AI racing with it, you're going to have to make the paints yourself and all that. Yeah, see, McLaughlin's coming into the pits and all that, so I'm going to... You know, I might need a couple extra gallons anyway. I've got 5.5 left. I don't know what I'm burning each lap, though. Will it tell me? Hey! Low Nation, subscribe to Prime. What a generous donation from Low Nation. Hey man, how you doing? So let me see, I've got 7 free laps left. I think that's probably about how many actual laps are left. So I'll add, but I don't need 18 gallons. Let's go 10 gallons? Let's go 8 gallons, which will put me up to whatever. But then I'll take on the red tires too, because the fuel's got to flow, so you might as well take some tires. Okay. All right, Montoya's in. Oof. I mean, we're at the end of the tire life here, so lockups aren't necessarily the worst thing in the world. That was a bad one. So we're going to be about 4th, I guess? Good. Okay. We've been chatting it up here, Low Nation, about IndyCar, Formula One, NASCAR, racing in general. A little bit of Borderlands. Did you tell Magic Doctor you'd play Borderlands with him? I'm trying to figure out who said that to me. Yeah, relearning. It's I'm having a pretty good time here so far. I mean, I haven't accidentally said the wrong thing. I was telling Low Nation before the stream. We were chatting, and I was saying, since it's a new wheel with a new button configuration, I'm pushing the wrong buttons sometimes, and just having to relearn where everything is. I don't have any of the Rallycross content. I'd have to look on it and see if they have like a sale or something, although they rarely do. But for anybody interested in iRacing who already has a subscription, I think on Black Friday they have a half-off thing usually. Don't quote me on that, but for subscriptions. So, well, I might have to go check that out then. I'm sure they have something. You're right. Down to 1st. Thank you. Now this is that end of the tire life where it feels good right now. But then it's going to break off. That's how these tires, like, because they're the hard compound. I noticed last stint they felt really good for like 2 laps. And then after those 2 laps, they didn't just go back to normal. They went off, and it was real oversteery. Subs. Does iRacing have some kind of thing with Twitch? I don't know about that. That was way too inside. How much time we got left? 4 minutes. Okay, we'll come by this time. We're not even going to be able to use those reds once we get them. We don't come in this time around, so. I don't know what your bank account looks like, Low Nation, but I know you've been talking about getting it for a couple months now. And I got to say, as somebody who did that for years, I wish I would have done it earlier. For whatever that matters. But like, if you don't have money, you don't have money. You know what I mean? Like, because it is an investment, absolutely. Yellow flag. Who's this for? I don't see anybody crash. Oh, there they are. Sato again? Dude, keep it on the track. Yeah, I know you're prepping for a move and everything too, so sorry, I don't know if I should say that on stream, but
Pitboxing 5, 3, 2, 1. Right here.
ah, crap. See how bad that hurt. I mean, I didn't say where you're going, so I figured, and you know, real quickly in my head, I was like, I didn't say where he's going. He could go anywhere. You're moving to the moon. All right, how bad did that? Looks like that sent me back to about 12th, missing my box like that. Yeah, because we had gotten around McLaughlin, and he's up there 2 spots ahead of us, so just that little bit. The little seconds matter. Oh, wait a second. That's a thing. I've got push to pass. I totally forgot about it. I don't know if that shows up on the screen. It shows up on the steering wheel, but again, I kind of block off the steering wheel. But yeah, it's got kind of IndyCar's version of DRS. It's something called push to pass, which is an extra horsepower boost. Totally forgot I had some of those saved up. Shoot, shoot, shoot.
Right side. Stay on the left.
Trying to stay competitive with cold tires.
Left side. Keep to the right.
All right, that one's done. I mean, there's a bunch of positions for the taking here, but we don't have much time left to do it. Ooh, that was close. Pushing hard, guys. I'm sure it didn't look like anything, but just dipping into that turn off the straightaway. I got a kick in the wheel that was telling me that was not smart, the way I played that. All right, white flag, one more to go. Oh, I was there.
Clear on the right.
Don't know what you're doing. So Scott's the last position here. Because there's no way I'm getting ahead of 2 lapped cars too, so just chuck it into the next braking zone here and see what happens. Nope, can't do it. All right, we're gonna come home, I think 10th. All right, 10th place.
Nice run. Solid work.
Which is a big improvement where we started 29th to come out in 10th. Sorry, kind of got neglectful towards the chat there, but was just trying to push those last few laps for any position I could get. Playing leagues. The Roval. Are you talking Charlotte? Starhopper? Or maybe Daytona? I don't know. There's a couple of different Rovals out there. I'm talking about iRacing tracks anyway. Yeah, that's a new one NASCAR put in, which good on them. They're, you know, exploring outside of ovals. Oh, Assetto Corsa. Yeah, No, I've got a Seto Corsa. It's just I don't, and it looks brilliant, by the way. It's just a beautiful game. But I just don't know how to mod it the same way I do R Factor and Automobilista. So
Pit box in 5, 3, 2, 1. Right here.
so yeah, coming.
Go, go, go!
Yeah, be quiet, you Australians. So coming home in 10th, especially since we missed that pit stop too. Who won? Who won the thing? Colton Herta won. Grosjean gets third, so he's going to get a lot of points. Who had a bad day? Who had a bad day? Who shouldn't? Bad day. Sato probably. Ericsson, BK. We were in this chunk with Ericsson, BK. Newgarden was able to recover a bit. Okay. Let's see. What was a good? Now I'm thinking, because I know I'm going to put these on Ether's page now. I'm thinking about what would be a good screenshot moment for the thumbnail. What's that moment Otto and I hit? What lap that was. Oh, right. I can end this in the... Okay. So I'm going to end the recording. So if you're watching on YouTube, thanks for stopping by. I think I'm uploading the full video to Getting Sleepy TV. There'll be a clip show or a clip package of this race on Ether at some point in the future. And this was streamed on EtherX Social. So shouting out all the channels here. Getting Sleepy TV on YouTube. Getting Sleepy TV on Twitch. EtherX Social on YouTube. EtherX Social on Twitch. I've been Nifty. Thanks for watching on YouTube.